10 ways intelligent people deal with difficult and toxic people. This is how smart people handle poisonous people. They don't let themselves be steamrolled. They know how to set limits, and they are apprehensive of the impact that dangerous connections can have on their well-being. The way that smart people handle poisonous people says a lot about their cerebral capacities. They don't let themselves be steamrolled. They know how to set limits, and they are apprehensive of the impact that dangerous connections can have on their well-being. One of the stylish gifts we can give ourselves is learning how to manage those who fit this profile. Some sociologists and experts in social psychology go as far as to say that we live in largely poisonous times. We have gotten used to always hearing this term, and occasionally we don't know where it applies. Now, if there's one thing that's clear, it's that we live in a time defined by insecurity and query. This pervades our diurnal routines and surroundings. On that note, studies have revealed that the terrain most susceptible to poisonous jest is the plant. It's especially true in professional settings where productivity is high stakes, competition, mistrust, covetousness, and frustration crop then, as well as particular conflicts that hang the systemic well-being of the entire association. Now, as we know, these connections can also be present in the family sphere. Some exemplifications are people who, whether because of personality or situation, parade dangerous jest towards their children or mates. In this script, the impact and damage can be indeed lesser because there's a fresh emotional element. There's a redundant closeness. Where are 10 ways how highly intelligent people handle toxic people in their life? But before starting, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that we get notified as soon as we upload a video. Also, do not forget to share it with a friend who is surrounded by a bunch of toxic people are ready to learn how to handle them properly. Let's begin. 1. Successful people establish boundaries. There's a fine line between being friendly and allowing notoriety to lead you down a path that jeopardizes your capability to remain effective. Successful people understand this and don't allow the poisonous among them to take charge, but rather choose to set effective boundaries. 2. They set limits, especially with complainers. Complainers and negative people are bad news because they wallow in their problems and fail to concentrate on results. They want people to join their pity party so that they can feel better about themselves. People frequently feel pressure to hear to complainers because they don't want to be seen as callous or rude. But there's a fine line between advancing a sympathetic observance and getting smelled into their negative emotional curl. You can avoid this only by setting limits and distancing yourself when necessary. Suppose of it this way: if the complainer were smoking, would you sit there all autumn gobbling the alternate handbank? You did part yourself. And you should do the same with complainers. A great way to set limits is to ask complainers how they intend to fix the problem. They will either quiet down or deflect the discussion in a productive direction. 3. They set limits, especially with complainers. Complainers and negative people are bad news because they wallow in their problems and fail to concentrate on results. They want people to join their pity party so that they can feel better about themselves. People frequently feel pressure to hear to complainers because they don't want to be seen as callous or rude. 4. Pay attention to how they make you feel. Occasionally, simply getting more apprehensive of how someone's poisonous jest affects you can help you more navigate relations with them. But most people sometimes say rude or hurtful effects they don't mean. No bone feels they're stylish all the time, and being in a bad mood can make you lash out. This isn't inescapably poisonous. But ask yourself if put campo, falsehoods, or other types of emotional and verbal abuse characterize utmost of your relations. Do they apologize or fail to notice how what they say or do affects you? If you stay till here, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as we upload a video. And I hope you guys are enjoying this video, so do not forget to share it with a friend in need. Moving ahead. 5. Talk to them about their jest. Someone who gossips, manipulates others, or creates dramatic situations might not realize how their jest affects you or anyone differently. An open discussion may help them realize this jest is inferior. To keep effects neutral, try to stick to I statements, which feel less accusatory for the other person, and set boundaries that work for you. Then are some exemplifications of this in action. I feel uncomfortable when I hear unkind effects about our coworkers. I won't share in those exchanges. I value trust and fellowship, so I can't continue this fellowship if you lie to me again. 6. They rise above toxic people who drive you crazy because their behavior is so illogical. So why do you allow yourself to respond to them emotionally and get smelled into the blend? The more illogical and off-base someone is, the easier it should be for you to remove yourself from their traps. Quit trying to beat them at their own game. Distance yourself from them emotionally and approach your relations like they are a wisdom design or you are their shrink. If you prefer the analogy, you don't need to respond to the emotional chaos, only the data. 7. They use their support system. It's tempting, yet entirely ineffective, to attempt to attack everything by yourself. To deal with poisonous people, you need to defeat the sins in your approach to them. This means tapping into your support system to gain perspective on a grueling person. Everyone has someone at work and/or outside work who's on their platoon, lodging for them, and ready to help them get the stylish from a delicate situation. Identify these individualities in your life and make in trouble to seek their sapience and backing when you need it. Commodity as simple as explaining the situation can lead to a new perspective. Most of the time, other people can see a result that you can't because they aren't as emotionally invested in the situation. 8. They let go of miscalculations. Emotionally intelligent people part themselves from their miscalculations, but do so without forgetting them. By keeping their miscalculations at a safe distance, yet still handy enough to relate to. They're suitable to acclimatize and acclimate for unborn success. It takes refined tone, mindfulness to walk this tightrope between dwelling and flashing back. Dwelling too long on your miscalculations makes you anxious and gun-shy, while forgetting about them fully makes you bound to repeat them. The key to balance lies in your capability to transfigure failures into nuggets of enhancement. This creates the tendency to get right back over every time you fall down. 9. They do and hold grievances. The negative feelings that come with holding onto a grudge are actually a stress response. Just allowing about the event sends your body into fight or flight mode, a survival medium that forces you to stand up and fight or run for the hills when faced with a trouble. When the trouble is imminent, this response is essential to your survival. But when the trouble is ancient history, holding onto that stress wreaks annihilation on your body and can have ruinous health consequences over time. In fact, experimenters at Emory University have shown that holding on to stress contributes to high blood pressure and heart complaint. Holding on to a grudge means you are holding on to stress, and emotionally intelligent people know to avoid this at all costs. Letting go of a grudge not only makes you feel more now, but can also ameliorate your health. 10. They don't waste their energy on meaningless conflict. Some poisonous people have a need to start conflict with anybody who's willing to accept their assignation to argue. Indeed worse, there's frequently no point to the arguments that poisonous people start. There's no desire to come to an agreement or to grow through healthy debate. Emotionally intelligent people are quick to feed this. Your stylish response is to simply liberate or to ignore the attempts altogether. Occasionally, this does affect in the poisonous person claiming palm still. Over time, the people who count you'll see right through that. So this is all for today's video. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as we upload a video. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you handle toxic people in your life? And we would love to hear your thoughts. So that is all, and I will see you in next one.